Made it to Parents Creek. Gonna set up camp right now.
Excuse us, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2.
Go find the crew and new trailer.
Up a tree, clinging to a cloud. Up a tree.
This is a crosscut saw, the primary tool we use to cut trees that were fallen down across the trail. The basic process after receiving some basic safety training is to debark the tree where you're going to use the crosscut saw, lubricate the saw with diesel fuel, hammer in a wedge once you start sawing, and dig out the bottom part of the ground where the saw blade's going to punch through and put some bark there to protect the blade from the dirt. Never want the blade to get in the dirt because that can cause it to dull, and you want to keep it as sharp as possible. There's a lot of other little techniques I learned that I won't go to in depth and detail in this video. However, if you're interested in learning more, definitely sign up for a saw weekend volunteer opportunity through the Ventana Wilderness Alliance. My prying is
get very close. One, nice to meet you.
2, 3.
Oh my god.
The tree behind us.
Can we take that wedge out? I don't know.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Oh, it's gone. So we gotta get it over some more. I just got it. 1, 2, 3. Stop it going. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Woo. Let's go. Clear this next.
Go, 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 go.
Watch your face though. Yeah, Rachel, be careful.
Do you need more?
Also, it might pop up too, Rachel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe you
I would say
average.
you
Don't be on this
should.
side.
Yeah.
Maybe we just do it from the top.
Watch yourself.
Okay, go, go,
We'll
go,
go,
go.
go, go. Okay. Woo!
Dude, that was really close, Rachel.
That was cool.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
we should have been more patient. That might have been my bad.
What was it?
In many of the places where deadfall fell onto the trail was damaged, so we worked to rebuild the surface of the trail so that it could be walked on effectively. Using a crosscut saw one-handed is called solo bucking, and in this case, if 2 people were using this saw, 1 person would be in a danger zone, so that's why we had 1 person using the saw and not 2 people. In almost all cases, it's easiest to cut logs when they're on the trail itself, and unfortunately they're not always on the trail. Sometimes you have to cut them off trail to get them into small enough pieces to move. There's also a lot of poison oak to contend with. Here's another shot of us using this leg press technique and a rock bar or pry bar to remove a piece of deadfall off the trail. Here we have John walking on a freshly cut piece of trail where the trail had actually washed out in storms sometime in January or February or December this year. So that's pretty cool. It's now accessible. Here's where the trail was put in after all this deadfall was cleared in our first location on Pine Ridge Trail. Looks pretty nice.
It's so perfect. It's so. You should open. It's even funnier if you open up the seat. You can only open it up so. Imagine if you were sitting on the toilet when that fell.
That would be a bad day.
But the toilet would be fine.
Bad day to poop.
So plan A was to cut this redwood tree that was blocking the toilet in 2 pieces, move it out of the way, and put the toilet right back over it. Unfortunately, the saw blade got stuck in this very saturated, wet redwood, and so we had to pull it out tooth by tooth. It took a long time, after which we decided it would be best to dig a new latrine. Unfortunately, we didn't have a post hole digger or a shovel, so we used the Pickmatics and other tools we had, like the pry bar and a plastic bowl, to dig a 3 foot deep by, I want to say 2 feet wide by 4 foot length latrine, which hopefully if you're watching this and you travel in this area, you never put any trash into it, and it will last a long time as the human waste just composts into the ground. Scoop by scoop we got this thing dug, and once we finished that, we were able to put the wood latrine right back on top using some risers. Once the toilet was on its riser, we carefully covered all the openings around the perimeter with wood, rocks, and bark so that nothing would fall in and to keep the bugs out.
Beans and rice for dinner. My favorite.
Morning, day 2, about 6 a.m. Got the stove running. Gonna make some oats and coffee. This is a completion shot of the work that was done on Friday on Terrence Creek Trail, about a half mile down from the top. You can see a lot of debris was covering the trail here. All that was cleared off very nicely, and then the tread reestablished. Looks really, really good and ready for mules. There's another shot of it in the uphill direction. The crew spent a lot of time on Friday on this. Here's another segment of trail that had washed out, had some damage, and was put back in. Looks perfect. That was the end of a really fun weekend of trail work. Thanks for watching. We'll see you around.